Good evening, folks, and welcome into another round of the Case King Prime Series here on Low Fuel Motorsport. My name is John Wright, of course, Double O Raven, taking us through all of the action from this evening's race. We are here at the Temple of Speed. It is Monza. Oh, yes, it's going to be a whole lot of fun tonight. That is for absolutely sure. Of course, Monza this evening, round number 6 already. Spa, Kyalami, the Nürburgring, Donington, and the Red Bull Ring last time out. It's an Italian double header with Imola, and in fact triple header with Misano the week after. Bathurst, Silverstone, Watkins Glen, and Brands Hatch all still to come as well. And of course the prize is up for grabs. The Win Bundle and UH1 Hub for third place. We've got the X1000 gaming chair for first place, and R300 seat Evo for first place in our championship. After last week, as we can see, it was the Red Bull Ring, and it was the usual suspects up at the top of the field. It was Jan Pavlovic taking the top spot with Jay Stevens in second, and Jan Rochelle rounding out the podium. And what that's done for the overall standings, it strengthened Rochelle's grip up at the top. Jay Stevens in second place, Mario Hoffman still in third, Mikael Kell in fourth, with Lorne van Rossen rounding out the top 5. Vimasar, Mayer, Sanders, Bobek and Kaz Pavlovic, you can see there, in 10th place, but he's only taken part in 3 races, so very much one to watch for the remainder of the season. The drivers are already out in qualifying, so let's jump out onto the track and see how they are getting on. And here we are out of Monza, our championship leader, leading the way, as you would expect. Of course, Monza, I mean, what can we say about Monza that's not already been said? It was built back in 1922, has seen quite the resurfacing over the years. Certainly not much in the way of changes. The chicanes, Prima Variante, of course, the big addition as far as most drivers are concerned, and rightfully so. Is quite the first corner. Of course, the Secondo Variante, for me, is a far more dangerous corner. The drivers tend to breathe a sigh of relief as soon as they get through the first chicane, and it's the second one that can really bite them in the rear end. So we'll see how they go on tonight. It is the standard 20-minute pit window in the middle of the race. The difference tonight, though, is it's a 90-minute race, so that pit stop will be all the more important. A new set of tyres, absolutely, definitely on the cards as we see times coming in. Rochelle getting provisional pole there with a 48.66. It's going to get much quicker, of course. Fernandez temporarily topping the timing boards with a 1:46.3. Yeah, let me pop that there. Yeah, so we'll see which manufacturers are looking good. Of course, Rochelle in the Mercedes. Good to see the Merc back in the field. We've got 43 cars tonight, so it's going to be a hotly contested race. We'll see if Andy Espinosa, the biggest gains last week, made up 10 places in the race last week in the BMW around the Red Bull Ring. The biggest gain out of anybody in the race, to get up from 32nd to 22nd, so that is a big jump in points brought home after qualifying. So we'll see what Espinosa can do this week and see indeed can mirror that effort. I mean, if he does that from here, that's going to be a very good effort. Stefan Vimazar out, of course. I mean, we've already got 26 cars setting time. It's Kaz Pavlovic that we're looking for, another Mercedes driver. Much like Rochelle. Oh, livery not shown this week, but yeah, Rochelle, Pavlovic, sorry, with a time on the board, about to go much quicker by the look of it. This is a front row contender for the Mercedes driver. Rochelle takes a 46.4. Doesn't quite go quick enough, and Pavlovich does improve. Huge improvement. And that is straight up to second place. Fernandez, though, also improves and hits a 46.0 as someone hits the escape road through turn number 1. Pavlovich has carried enough momentum through the first chicane to be in with a shout at pole position here. There we go. We can jump on board and see what it's like for the drivers. Yeah, for anyone that does happen to be new to the track. I don't think there's many people out there that are going to be new to this one. There we go, sorry. Ooh. We do love the Lesmos, the double right-handers of death. Mirrored, of course, on Suzuka, or from Suzuka. Two very, very, very tricky little corners coming into one of my absolute favourites, Ascari. This really lets you know you're a race driver when you get this one correct, and that's a good run through there by Pavlovich, gaining time all the way. We've got someone cheering on the Hondas. That would be in the German channel. Yeah, feel free to remember as well to say hi in the chat. We've got combined chat in Twitch with the German and the English channels. So yeah, feel free to jump in. As I say, you might not understand everything that's being said, but yeah, it's mixed over the two. So do feel free to jump in, let us know who you're cheering on. Oh, and Pavlovich is actually, as I looked away, he has invalidated his lap, unfortunately, so no improvement for him, pushing a bit too hard towards the end of the lap. Fernandez crosses the line, doesn't go quicker, is certainly threatening to do so. We're now at 37 drivers with a time set. Jakob Schumacher on a time at the moment, but Gamelgard, the last time set at the moment, 49.2. That will come down, I would imagine. Very nice livery. Oh yeah, some really nice liveries throughout the field. So yeah, 38 drivers now got times set, and we're just on the just past the halfway mark. Matej Meeks making an appearance in the top 5. So too Lorne van Rossum. He's now 6th place. He's in the pit, plenty of time to come back out and get a lap set. Mario Hoffman, he's in 15th place. He is going a bit quicker. So too Max Petrenko, in fact. He's making an improvement. Oh, so is Pavlovich. I'll tell you what, we'll jump over to Pavlovich because this is... Wow, it's on a knife edge between himself, Fernandez and Rochelle. All three of them at the top of the field, currently up on their best, on their own personal best times. Oh, Fernandez is right on the bubble. He is very close indeed. Let's get a bit of a wider shot. Oh, and he's just yellow flag, so he's pulled over. Pavlovich still in the hunt. Jan Rochelle has backed out of his lap as well. That's Rochelle and Fernandez back to the pits. Pavlovich round the last corner, and this is going to be considerably into the 45s by the look of it. And it is indeed 45.7 to give him a 3/10 lead up at the top of the field. Hoffman, oh, he was on an improvement until we got to Ascari there, just as we jumped on board. He has popped himself back to the pits. Bobek and Schofield. In fact, Schofield's showing a really good improvement in his time. This should get him well into the 46s. In fact, well into the 46s. This is going to be one of these grids where it is exceptionally close right throughout the field. So yeah, we will see a very close grid. Schofield, in fact, about to make a gargantuan jump up through the field. This is a big improvement he's found in the Aston Martin. You would expect that to go quite well around here, and it usually does. Through Parabolica. or as can occasionally be known, pramabolic. If any of the drivers do throw their toys out the pram and validate their lap through here, it would not be the first, it certainly will be the last in Schofield. Very, very, very good time indeed in Aston Martin to go third place. Oh yes, he is flashing those lights. 4 minutes 23 left in the qualifying session, and Schofield has popped himself on the second row ahead of Rochelle. He's just making his way through traffic. So he has got his work cut out for him. Pavlovich is taking the top spot. As we saw a few moments ago with that 45.7, still the only driver in the 45s. That was a big jump, big jump. Ignatov. He's on an improvement as well, down at 23rd. But if he can get himself into the 46s, that would be, yeah, he's looking at a good 7 or 8 place jump. Even with a minimum improvement in time. So too Falk Moritz down in down in 30th position. We'll jump back on there. Oh, Priadko goes quicker. Herbert Putz goes quicker as well. Ignatov round at the last corner. He's lost a bit of time, but he does manage to get up to 19. He's not quite into the 46. It's 47.0. 4 drivers on a 47.0. So close. Quite a few down the field on improvements. The only one up at the front making an improvement is Adam Schofield. He's currently trending towards a 46.0, which could see him join Kaj Pavlovich on the front row. That would be quite the time if he managed to do so. Let's see, 0.2 of a second he's got in his pocket here. This is going to be just enough. I tell you what, I bet he wishes he was behind that Ferrari to get a little bit of extra slipstream, and there he goes, 45.9. So Schofield back to back, getting himself in the rhythm and onto the front row with only 2 minutes left to go. And let's see, so Fernandez, well, he's going to get this lap and potentially one more. Rui Castro's joined him in the top 5. He is a 10th up on his time at the turn number 1, so some improvements potentially there as well. You'll love to see it. Gamelgard is still down at the back of the grid, 42nd position he finds himself. Kexmacher in 43rd in the pits. Not sure he is going to get a time in. Beautiful livery. Let's see who we are looking at. Votek Bobek is up 3/10 on his time. Pavlovich, Schofield in the pits. So I would say that is him effectively done with qualifying. He is running a 1 minute 45.952. I'll tell you what, Bobek could be the 5th driver on 1 minute 46.7. Let's see where he goes across the line. He is indeed. Mikhail Kell, Votek Bobek, Stefan Vimazar and Matteo Zanella all join Andy Espinoza on a 1 minute 46.7. Pavlovich looking to extend his lead up at the front of the field to make sure he discourages anyone from down the field trying to overtake him at the end. He's up on his time. So too is Jan Rochelle. Now, where is Jan? He is just coming along the back straight. Pavlovich is down further back. So let's see what Rochelle does across the line. He's carrying about a 10th. This is enough to get ahead of Meeks at the moment. Yep, gets ahead of Meeks. Bless me. Rochelle threatening to get another 10th as well, so that might be enough, and it does look like Pavlovich has invalidated his lap, so he is done with qualifying as well. So provisional pole for him with a 45.7. Still got a few cars out on track. Schnettberg is up on his time, so is Van Rossum in the top 10. Jan Rochelle looking now to get ahead of Rui Castro in 4th, and Max Petrenko Looking to get ahead of the 46.7 gang and join the 46.6s. And see if he can get a few more places. Yep, 2 10s. And that's a good jump for Petrenko and for Van Rossum as well. Right down to the wire here. Very close laps indeed. Yep, so only 42 have set a time. It does look like Keksmacher won't be getting a time set. It does look like Petrenko is going to see a big jump through the field if he can keep this together through Parabolica, and he's getting a bit slipstream as well from the Aston Martin, although he's pulled out from the Aston, pulls into the pits. The BMW still trailing onward, and up to 8th position for Petrenko. Big jump at the end there for him. He will be very, very, very happy with that time indeed. Schnettberg just coming into the pits. I believe that is everyone. Oh no, Priadko. We'll see what he can do. 26th at the minute with a 47.2. 4 drivers on a 47.2. And he goes a bit quicker. Takes a couple of hundreds off his time. Good enough to see him up to 25th place. We will get ourselves a look at the qualifying results in a moment. We can actually get our grid walkthrough done nice and early as well. He says confidently as he tries to get the technology to work. There we go. But yeah, very much Kaj Pavlovich taking the top spot honours there. And in fact we can. Yeah, we've got quite a few cars, so let's get straight on to the qualifying grid. There is Kaj Pavlovich, our numero uno here at Monza. He'll be joined on the front row by Adam Schofield. 2 quick times at the end of qualifying. Very good performance by Adam. Behind him on row 2, Michael Fernandez driving the Mustang. Joining him on row 2, we have the McLaren of Rui Costa. So no real dominant manufacturer in the top 4. Lon Van Rossum in the Ferrari starts in 5th position. In 6th place is Jan Ruchel in the Mercedes. In 7th position it is Matija Meeks in the Honda. He'll be very happy with that 46.4 that he's set. Max Petrenko joining him. 46.4 for Max in the BMW, good enough for 8th place. In 9th, Hank Che, the 5-star racing driver with a 46.5. He's going to start ahead of Joris Schnettberg in 10th position for the number 10 car. 46.6 for him. In 11th position, Matteo Zanella. There we go. And just behind him, Andy Espinoza starting in 12th place. Let's see what he can do in the race this time around. In 13th position, yes, it's Mikhail Kell in the Mercedes. And then in 14th place, Votek Bobec. 46.7, one of 5 drivers to set a 46.7. Stefan Vimazar, another one of said drivers. He is in the Porsche in 15th place. 16th, Mitchell Dijkstra, another McLaren driver, 46.8, good enough for 16th place. 17th, Paul Losada, Moonblack Racing in the BMW. We've got Marcin Piez starting in 18th position. 19th place, Lie Liu in the Lexus, 47.0. Then it is Efim Ignatov in 20th position, another driver on a 47.0. Mario Hoffman starting in 21st place, 47.0 for the Porsche driver. And then in 22nd it is Falk Moritz, 1 minute 47.1 for the Ferrari driver. 23rd place, Elijah Melvin, Did Outside Racing Team, 47.2. just ahead of Arthur Spawn. SRK Racing Team's McLaren driver, starting in 24th, ahead of Andrew Priadko. Priadko starting in 25th this week, 1 minute 47.2. Herbert Prutz starting in 26th place. In 27th is the Porsche of Fab Brad. And then it is Maxim Korolchuk starting in 28th position. 29th place is going to be Sven Dreyer in the Aston Martin. He's clocked himself a 1 minute 47.4 and stays inside the top 30, where Heiko Sanders rounds out the top 30, the Metal of Honour engineering car, 1 minute 47.4. Then it's Bodan Pinda, did outside the racing team driver, another 47.4. He'll be joined on row 16 by Benjamin Schubert, the Kronos Motorsport post driver. Then it is Javi Garcia, another Moon Black racing driver, phenomenal livery, starting in 33rd. 34th, it's Johannes Meyer in the Porsche, followed by another Porsche. It's Lars Newball for Pit Speed Racing, starting in 35th. He'll be followed into turn number 1 by Stefan Kozubek in the Aston Martin, 1 minute 47.9. Ivan Thilmani, another Kozubek driver, another Aston Martin, 1 minute 48.0. In 38th position, Mitchell Lepishow, another Porsche making an appearance. Then it's Jose Lamas in the Aston Martin for Goma Kemada Esports. In 40th position, Jakob Schumacher, Kronos Motorsport. Then in 41st place, Alberto Rivero, 1 minute 49.0. And bringing up the rear of the field is Michael Gammelgaard, the last time set, 49.0. And then Alexander Kexmacher, of course, not setting a time, so he will indeed start from the front of the... from the back of the grid. He won't start from the front at all. Let's very quickly get back up to the front of the field. Just coming to the end of the warm-up lap. As I say, 90-minute race with a 20-minute pit window in the middle of the race. So the normal 60-minute strategies will definitely need to be adjusted for. And we shall see who manages to do so the best. It's it's going to be a tricky run throughout, and the pit strategy, I think, is going to be massively important. And as I say that, Fernandez is in the pits. Okay, so Fernandez is teleported back, or towed back to pits on the warm-up lap. So yeah, hopefully he's okay. Hopefully everything's okay with them. So yeah, one less car for the top 4 to worry about on the way into turn number 1. Certainly the drivers behind all going to be promoted a position. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Fernandez when the race gets underway. The drivers just coming into Ascari now, and you can see them all bunching up nice and close. The rest of the field racing to catch up. Kexmacher should, he'll be out with the last corner by the time we get off and running. So this is them in their starting grid formation. It is round number 6 of the Case King Prime Series. It is full sun in Monza. We'll see who the sun is shining on when we get to the end of the race though. It is Pavlovich and Schofield side by side. Schofield putting in a remarkable performance at the end of qualifying to get this position on the front row, and they've got one less challenger. As there we go, as the green lights, his foot down, it's flat out, and it is flying out the gates for Kaz Pavlovich. What a start for him. Schofield almost getting bogged down. I'm not sure he got his foot down as quickly as the rest of the drivers around him. You can see Jan Russell and Lauren Van Rossum all threatening to make moves on one another. They all go side by side. No more than 2 wide. Oh no, there we go. We do have some 3 wide battles going on. That is the one of the Mercedes. A bit of a concertina. Oh, we've got 1 car, 2 cars sideways. 1 car sideways, 1 car the wrong way, and 1 car stationary. Quite a few cars involved there. Up at the front though, Kaz Pavlovich, what a breakaway. He will not be disappointed with the break he's got at the start there. Massively uncontested into turn number 1, which is exactly the type of dream start you dream of here at Monza. The rest of the field all quickly falling in to single file. We did see some incidents at the start there, so let's try and jump onto a replay. Here we go, yes, so Korolchuk right down at the back of the field. I think as he arrives here in his BMW, one of the Ferraris already the wrong way around. Yep, they're trying to squeeze 3 wide through there. Slight concertina effect, all it takes is a tap. Took turn 1 and made it a parking lot, unfortunately. Oh yeah, but a bit of extra damage there, so quite a few drivers trying to straighten themselves up there and having to take extra turns. We'll see what the post-race stewards have to say, but for the moment, not much to say about Kaz Pavlovich other than what a start he's had, absolutely flying out of the front. And he is going to start lap 2 with a significant gap over Schofield. All things considered, Schofield is the driver though in second place, still 7/10 of a second down. He too though can't be too disheartened at his start. He's got a 9/10 gap over Rui Castro, so he is breaking the slipstream, which is what he needs to do, although we do have Jan Ruchel getting very, very, very close to Castro and this massive group of cars just back here. As you can see, Bobek, Losada in there, Mitchell Dijkstra, Marcin Pietz in here as well. Absolutely nip and tuck into turn number 1. Oh, there we go, big concertina effect. And cars absolutely everywhere. That's Mario Hoffman finding himself on the escape road. More cars finding themselves out in the gravel. Hopefully they've got a bucket of sand, because they will be making sandcastles for the rest of the race if they do keep making contact with that Gamelgard. Making a good start to the race. Jakob Schumacher in the pits. Fernandez I think is, oh no, Fernandez is still in the race. I just can't see him for looking. Over the front, yeah, there is Pavlovich, so we can see. Yeah, there's Fernandez there, so Fernandez down to 37th position. So, Michael Fernandez down 34 spots. Oh, Pavlovich running wide through Ascari. We jumped on board just in time to see that. There's slight overconfidence, or tyres not up to 10 properly, but Pavlovich there massively missing the markers through Ascari and finds himself off picking up some gravel on his tyres as well. You cannot do that against this level of competition. That will be costly, massively costly in the long run. Hopefully you can learn from that and keep it between the mayo and the mustard. Raid coming into the Gemrin channel. Crudonis coming in, saying hello as Van Rossum sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Fernandez is back in the pits. Michael Fernandez, something is going on. Lee Liu is in the pits as well in the legs as Jakob Schumacher back out. So he's going to gain back a couple of spots, but despite being down. Let me just see. Oh, and that's a big dive there. Rui Castro, he's absolutely missed his brakes by a country mile there, and he is going to give that position back. Completely misjudged that there. Shot across the chicane there. He has given, as I say, the position back. No, actually replay that, but yeah, we don't need a replay to see what happened there. Through the Lesmos we go. We are on lap number 3 already, and Lon Van Rossum I think might be a good place to jump on board. There we go. And see what we've got going on ahead of him. Matej Mix, Jan Ruchel and Rui Castro all battling away for third position, while Castro trying to hang on to the back of Adam Schofield. Kaz Pavlovich is absolutely checking out at the front of the field. He is almost 2 seconds ahead already. In fact, yeah, sitting on 1.8 seconds, so well over half a second a lap he's made, close to a second a lap he's made in these opening exchanges. Into Parabolica we go once again. Beautiful line by all of the drivers, as you would very much expect. We're on board with Van Rossum, fastest driver on track, and he's probably going to increase or improve. Oh, now that was a bit weird by Meeks there. Did he improve on that lap time? No, he was very close though. 147.5, 47.5 for Meeks. So yeah, that slipstream working wonders. Michael Kell setting a fast lap, and he doesn't have anyone in front of him giving him slipstream. Yeah, so the times are getting quicker. The track temperature and conditions very much in the driver's favour. 24 degrees. They'll be able to maximise what they're getting out of those tyres. Let's see if Rochelle can maximise this run he's got on Castro. It's Mercedes versus McLaren. Through chicane number 2 and into Lesmos. He'll keep his powder dry through these two corners, and then look to pull something along this back straight into Ascari, or middle straight if we'll call it. Of course the back stretch would be the run into Ascari. There we go. Has he got enough oomph? I tell you what, the McLaren, no slouch on the corner exits, that's for sure. Can definitely get going. The Mercedes, even in the slipstream, not able to pull close enough to make any kind of move into Ascari, I don't think. No, not close enough. The Honda though, Matej Meeks, that thing has got some top end oomph to it. We're about to see him get a move done along the start finish straight. Certainly the Ferrari of Van Rossum is going to struggle the most out of the cars that we're seeing on screen at the moment for that top end. A good all round car, but certainly isn't going to win any top end prizes, that's for absolutely sure. The Honda may well. Certainly Meeks got an enabled partner behind him, so still needs to be absolutely on point with his exits. Let's see what Rochelle does on this exit. Pavlovich taking the fastest lap up at the front, 46.6, to go 2.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. I did say he might be down in 10th in the standings, but he's going to be one to watch for the rest of the season. He's only taken part in 3 races. This is race number 4 out of 6 for him. And yeah, another race win here. The championship standings are going to look very, very, very different going into next week. Although, all that being said, he does still need to survive another hour and 22 minutes at Monza. Haha. Yeah, anything can happen, that is for sure. Let's have a look at this battle further. Although when I say that battle, we should have a look down here as well, because this is a monster going on just outside the top 20. And in fact, we'll jump on a helicopter just so we can see how intense this battle is. Heiko Sanders, Maxim Korolchuk, Falk Moritz and Benjamin Schubert all battling away for 21st position. They've dropped off the back of Ignatov, who's chasing down Fab Brad. I'll tell you what, they're going side by side into the second chicane, knocking it off, following a single file. Oh, there's one of the BMWs missing its brakes. That's Pridna just missing his brakes, almost handing a gift here to Javi Garcia and Lars Nubel, both very close indeed now, a lot closer than he would be. Given where he was, I tell you what, it's an absolute minefield as to what to choose here. I tell you, Moritz absolutely on the chase still, and in fact Herbert Putz might go for something. No, he's backed out of it. He definitely did think about that there into Ascari. Not quite close enough, but yeah, Ferrari on Ferrari. Oh, he's just run a bit wide there. Ever so slightly has Putz, and this has really put the impetus in for Ignatov. He can go side by side through Parabolica potentially. A row of 3 Ferraris. Is he going to get enough room? No, doesn't quite have the run to make that happen. Up at the front, we've still got podium battles going on, but this time it's for second place. Adam Schofield has been caught up a bit on by Rui Castro, who's managed to put half a second more between him and Jan Michel. So the podium battle is changing dynamics at the moment, with Matej Meeks still looking to get 4th position. He has managed to outstrip Van Rossum's Ferrari. Yeah, the plethora of positions and places these Hondas can get themselves up to top speed, the Ferraris are always going to struggle against them. Michael Fernandez is out of the race. Massively unfortunate there. So whatever it was that ailed him, it has taken him completely out of the race. Massive pity. He started right up at the front of the field as well, so hopefully everything is okay. It's just a minor technical issue or something that he can quickly get himself fixed and get involved for next week. It'll be good to see him out at Imola. That is going to be a very good 60-minute race next week, so make sure you get tuned in for that one. We've got Pavlovich still leading the way, and he really is leading the way. That gap is now up to 3.5 seconds. The pace he is showing is absolutely incredible compared to the rest of the field. You can see Rui Castro here in 3rd position. Absolutely, he's just gone quicker again. 46.4 for Pavlovich. Absolutely flying. Oh, and I tell you what, that's 2 wheels on the grass there. Adam Schofield, that is brave use of the outside of the track. You definitely don't want to be messing with that too much. That really will kill your braking and cause you some issues. Oh, I'll tell you what, Van Rossum, he's looking close as well. Nothing doing between these two. Not the camera we were looking for. But there we go, Van Rossum. Has he got the move? No, he's not quite close enough. So it's still on a knife edge for quite a few of the drivers. Han Che, defender from Joris Schnettberg at the moment. Both of these drivers are up a few positions. Matteo Zanella struggling at the start of the race. He's dropped 2 spots. Bobek and Vinasar both making their way past. Arthur Spawn, you'll see there in a moment, that's 8 positions he's made up. Fad Brad has made up 8 positions as well. And Hiko Sanders has made up 9 along with Benjamin Schubert. So Schubert in the Porsche starting in 32nd place, now finding himself up in 23rd. So great run for him, and Michael Gamelgard as well set the slowest time in qualifying, but 9 places up to 33rd place for him. So some very good advances through the field. Andy Espinosa not quite so fortunate. He's dropped 14 places, and in fact we can have a quick look at one of his incidents. So yeah, going into turn number 1 for the BMW driver, looks like this might be a 3-wide attempt. He's got the Aston Martin. Oh, a damaged Aston Martin. He's already carrying damage at this point as well. I think there's a touch. Yeah, so flashing lights. There was an incident before that as well, I believe, which we haven't captured, but yeah, clearly that wasn't the one that did the damage he's got on his front end, but he has tumbled down the order. So we'll see a while before he can come in for a pit stop as well. Of course, it's 20-minute pit window in the middle of the race. So 35 minutes in, so still a long way to go before we see that pit window open. We've still got Lauren Van Rossum chasing Matija Meeks, and I thought Meeks was going to get himself, well yeah, get himself a bit of a breakaway given the top end speed that the Honda is capable of. Van Rossum got very different ideas. It's easy to see why he is so high up in the championship so early on as well. He really is putting in some very quick sector times here to catch up to Meeks, and Jan Rochelle in 4th place. Looks like he's a bit of a cork in the bottle at the moment. Van Rossum down 1 on where he started. Rochelle and Meeks making up 2 places each at the start again. Just popping a little wheel on the grass there. This time it is Rochelle on the way into Parabolica. No issues for his braking as he fire at the corner once more. Oh, Michael Kell, tell you what, he could be handing a spot here. This is a very close battle he's got, and that Mercedes looking ultimately quick at the moment compared to the 2 ahead of them. You can see that BMW absolutely banged to rights out with the last corner. Just needs to pick his moment. Nope, he's going to stay tucked in, full bobsled team. And not a bad idea. It will get them all up to a much higher top end. They've got that Lexus ahead of them as well, and I think it's that. No, it's not you. Oh, it is Han Che. My apologies, of course, it is Han Che in the 5-star racing car. So yeah, so he's the Lexus at the front of this group, 8th position. So yeah, Staying in the slipstream and not going side by side extraneously through corners you don't particularly need to. Definitely a good idea. And Kel, sorry, trying to cut down his lap times by doing so, and it'll help the group as well. So yeah, not a bad idea that. Paul Lasada on Matteo Zanella. Zanella, one of the drivers I mentioned a few moments ago, is dropping a couple of positions, and it looks like Lasada, who's already gained 3 so far, fancies himself another one. I want to tell you what, that is a big kick out to the side there. Climbing over the curbs, that's not what he needs to be doing. Espinosa dropping down. Marcin Pietz had dropped quite a few places at the start of the race, got himself caught up in an instant. He is back up to 29th position, so good drive by him. And it's at Kozubek, yep, going side by side behind him with Ivan Filmani. These two swapping positions on the way out of the Lesmos. That's yeah, no mean feat getting that done. Oh, Meeks and Van Rossum have swapped position. Well, Van Rossum getting the job done in the Ferrari out of Parabolica. They're going to go side by side into turn number 1. It's going to be Matej Meeks with the inside line on the way in, and yep, he does fall back ahead of Van Rossum, but certainly that is a marker laid down by Van Rossum. He's managed to outrun the Honda in a straight line to get the move done, so certainly that could see an entirely different strategy to his defensive, to how he defends, sorry, by Matej Meeks. We'll see if that continues to be the case. Kaj Pavlovic, definitely the case that he is absolutely flying up at the front now. That gap comfortably up to 4.5 seconds, and behind him the battle for second and third is still absolutely going on. We've got Schofield and Castro. Again, Schofield with a very good performance at the end of qualifying, back-to-back laps. Saw him go row 2, then row number 1. He's managed to hold the position for the moment, but he does have Rui Castro absolutely chasing him down here. And yeah, a bit of a bigger gap this time around. Van Rossum again on Matej Meeks. I tell you what, he really is getting that run through Ascari into Parabolica with goal. Let's see what he's got on the exit this time around. We're going to see a reverse move into turn number 1. It's definitely got the potential, although that does look like Meeks has got the exit he needed there to fend off the charging Ferrari. Van Rossum must be running 0 wing on the back of that car to absolutely maximise it. It does look like a very flat rear wing, but yeah, I think he is running at absolute, yeah, near 0, if not near 0 rear wing to try and get all that top end speed out of it, because he really is keeping that Honda very much in check. Mikael Kell, sorry, keep getting those vowels the wrong way around. Mikael Kell still chasing down Hank Che with Joris Schnepper still in 10th position. We've got Lasada and Zanella have swapped positions, so Lasada getting that move done for the Moon Black team. This is a team competition. Oh well, yeah, there is a team competition running in this as well. So yeah, Moon Black picking up another position there with Lasada. Down the field we've also got Andy Espinosa trying to make back some of the positions that he's lost so far, and he has got himself Bodan Pinda just ahead of him now. Based on the qualifying pace of the two of them, I don't think it'll be long before Espinosa gets this one done, although he is carrying that damage, of course. Ooh, and he gives him a touch on the inside, and that is Pinda. He is going to spin and end up dropping massively down the order. Dreher, Nubel, Pease all going to pick up positions. Pinda back up and running, but here comes still Manny as well. Yep, for Manny round the outside on the way through Lesmo number 2, and that's a position taken there as well. 20 minutes into this one, it's Kaj Pavlovic leading the way. Of course, it's round number 6 of the Case King Case King Pro Series, with Pavlovic leading the way. Castro, Castro now up at the 2nd place. I did miss that overtake. Nothing registered for an incident. Now I could. Yeah, no, let's not rewind it just in case we see a reverse move here. But yeah, while I was looking down the field there, Castro has got the move done. Schofield now finding himself chasing once again. It was Pavlovich he was trying to chase. He's now got Rui Castro ahead of him. Castro really used as much of that exit as he can there. That's going to be close to a slap on the wrist. You definitely don't want to pick up a drive-through. A 90-minute race around here, that really is going to be a problem as far as finishing positions goes. Especially being this short of the pit window as well. The track temperature might be good for a race, but it's not the type of track temperature where you want to serve a drive-through. Again, with the amount of temperature that you'll lose in your tyre driving through the pits, yeah, really can be a massive, massive game changer. Especially being 20 minutes in, you're going to have gone through a fair bit of fuel. The car's going to be lighter. It's going to take longer to get them warmed back up again. Van Rossum certainly keeping the tyres on his car warm, and Matija Meeks, he'll be feeling the heat as well. Because once again, out of Parabolica, Van Rossum getting an absolute rocket of a start to get within 0.2 of a second. Let's see what the zero-winged Ferrari can do against the Honda in a straight line, although Schofield thinking about it into turn number 1. So let's have a look and see. Nothing doing on that one. Van Rossum, yeah, he did pop out the slipstream, pulled almost along, or was he pulled out, wasn't close enough to get alongside, so he's pulled back in. He's certainly signalling his intent once again. So Schofield remains in 3rd place. It's Jan Rochelle in 4th with Matija Meeks in 5th at the moment. Van Rossum in 6th looking to take that. We've got Petrenko 7 seconds down with Mikhail Kell ahead of Schnetterberg in 8th, Schnetterberg in 9th position. They are keeping up with Petrenko. Petrenko, as I say, 7 seconds down. Hans Scherer in the Lexus ahead of Stefan Vimazar in 11th place. Matteo Zanella and Paul Lasada. These two still close, and Elijah Melvin and Efan Ignatov going side by side into the second chicane, and they have indeed successfully made their way through. And I tell you what, that is a very good move there by Ignatov. Not only that, Arthur Spawn's going to get the move done as well in the McLaren. Gets it around the outside on the way into Lesmo number 1. He's going to come, fighting right back though, Melvin. I tell you what, that is a bit of a ropey rejoin. Makes contact on the way back on. I don't think this one is done by any stretch of the imagination, and there's more going on behind us. Fad Brad, what a name that is, Fad Brad. Looks like he might try something into Ascari here, not quite close enough there either. But this is still very close indeed. Herbert Putz bringing up the rear of this little group. I tell you what, that does look like he's popping out. Fad Brad now having to go potentially into Parabolica. We'll see what he can do here against Arthur Spawn. Spawn just recently taking the position. It looks like Brad trying to take it from him in the Porsche. It was very quick into Parabolica. You would expect the McLaren to have this in a straight line, but I tell you what, that Porsche really putting up a battle through Parabolica. Let us not underestimate just how nimble that thing is through the corners, but in a straight line the McLaren should have him absolutely bang to rights. He does indeed got to pull out the slipstream, Putz pulling in as well with that slipstream advantage in the Ferrari. So 2 become 3 in this battle for 18th position. Up at the front, the podium battle has died down a bit. Adam Schofield has got back ahead of Castro, who is now 8 tenths back and only 4 tenths ahead of Rochelle. Again, nothing registering for any off-tracks or incidents. As soon as you look away, these two swap positions, and here is Jan Rochelle, gratuitous Mercedes on board, on way. And Rochelle, yeah, he is looking to join this podium party, and what a contender he will be towards the end of the stint. 25 minutes in, we'll have the pit window opening fairly shortly, all things considered. Well, we're closer to the pit window opening certainly than we were at the start of the race. Or, yeah, we're over halfway through the opening stint before the pit window opens. I'm trying to verbalise poorly there. Heading along the start-finish straight, Rochelle and Castro are the closest to. Let's see what the Mercedes can do. It's getting all that slipstream from the Aston Martin ahead. Is he going to have a look at the turn 1? He is not. He's going to keep his powder dry. Try and get as good an exit as possible here. I'll tell you what, Castro is definitely going to be feeling the pressure. Do we get a rear view mirror? No, we don't with the Aston, unfortunately. Yeah, not really a usable mirror, unfortunately. We've got, because yeah, it would be a very, very, very good view indeed. Although the Aston Martin certainly does. So let's jump on board with Schofield and watch the other two drivers trying to catch him. Although he has got a very good exit out of the Lesmo, not so much for Castro. He is getting left behind a bit. Let's see if this is the moment that Rochelle can capitalise. Going into Ascari. He's going to need to keep it tight. Well, I'll tell you what, I massively got that wrong. I didn't think Castro got a very good exit out of the Lesmos there, but that, yeah, it really was up to scratch there, keeping in touch with the two drivers ahead, or with the drivers around him. Pavlovich absolutely checking out. He is already 7.5 seconds in the lead. I'm pretty sure he's already qualified for Monza at this pace. Let's see what Rochelle can do this time along the start-finish straight. He has got Castro surely right where he needs him. Let's see what the McLaren top-end speed can do here against this Merc. It's going to be close at the turn number 1, and Schofield isn't going to be a part of it. He is checking out. He's got enough of a gap so he doesn't need to look over his shoulder into the braking zone. No, not so much for Rui Castro. Here comes Jean Roussel. Is he going to send it? He thought about it there. You can see the extra push on the brakes there. The Mercedes just having a little bit of a wiggle. Castro is going to be on absolute full alert here. Definitely needs to be on his absolute P's and Q's. Oh, Han Che against Vimasar. Vimasar now up in the 10th position. So good drive by him. That's put him up 5 places to get into the top 10. Mikael Kell up 5 places in the top 10. So those two drivers doing particularly well to get where they have. Gamelbred's up another spot as well. Now that I'm looking down the order. Mario Hoffman, Lee Lu and Andrew Priadko all down at the back of the field. I believe they've all been into the pit stops. We're going to need to keep an eye on this battle here between Rochelle and Castro. Drivers right up at the sharp end of the standing. So very important points going to get handed out within this little group. Pavlovich, he is taking all the points here today by the look of it. He really is moving at an absolute monster clip at the moment. That 8-second gap, absolutely wild. His quickest lap of 46.4, 4/10ths quicker than anyone else has managed. Just checking that actually, let's have a look at some lap time. as we get beyond the halfway mark. My apologies, have I been muted for a while there? I've got one of my shortcut buttons, my apologies, thank you very much AV Gamer for pointing that out. Yep, I hit the wrong short key. Oh, 5 minutes, goodness me, my apologies. We do love audio technology. Yeah, we are here for round number 6 of the Case King Pro Series. And it is Kaj Pavlovic leading the way. We've got these battles still going on though. Matej makes Rui Castro still within half a second of second place. Himself and Schofield, of course, have swapped positions a couple of times, much like Van Rossum. And Meeks. Van Rossum back up to where he started. Meeks still on again, but looking to gain more if he can. We'll have the pit window opening fairly shortly. That's 33 minutes in to the race. Joris Schnettberg as well looking for an overtake. He's got Mikael Kell just ahead of him. Ignatov coming into the pit, so that is a bit early for Ignatov. And I tell you what, he's popped that yellow flag there. Oh, so he must have had a much earlier incident. But yeah, Ignatov coming in before the pit lane opened, so he must have some damage that he's needing to get repaired. That is a painful one, so close to the end of the stint as well. Yeah, that is rubbing a bit of salt into the wound, you would say. Meeks 2/10 behind Van Rossum still. Pavlovic still, and I tell you what, Pavlovic is actually taking his foot off the gas a bit. 46.4. So nowhere near the quickest car on track on that previous lap there, so he really is managing that pace and managing that gap up at the front. And he's done a whole lot of work at the start of the race to afford himself that opportunity, and he's now reaping the rewards of that. And he is going to have himself a nice quick run. Although I say that, the lap times are getting slower. He is making his way through a lot of traffic as well, so that may well have a bearing. In fact, oh no, track map's still broken. I need to get that looked at some way, somehow. Now let's see, Schnettberg and Mikael Kell. That's what I'm looking at here, coming out of Parabolica. Three-way slipstream train, Petrenko just at the front of this little group here. So he is leading the way. Let's see if Schnettenberg has got a move on Carl this time into the braking zone. It's the BMW versus Mercedes for straight line speed, and it is going to be yep, the Mercedes that wins out. Let's see what Castro's doing back up at the front. And now here we go then. This is where it gets really interesting. We've got traffic for them to deal with as well. And that is 35 minutes in. So they're definitely going to have more to deal with before the end of the race and through the pit stop phase as well. It's going to get very close indeed. And that has really cost Castro actually. He's now 1.3 seconds down on Adam Schofield. And there is the pit window open, as we mentioned, 35 minutes into the race. It will now remain open for the next 20 minutes. Oh, Hank Che just picking up a warning from the in-game stewards. Using up one of his speed tokens. Definitely don't want to push that too much. Ignatov. Oh, and a big incident for Ignatov. I thought he'd come into the pits here, but no, Ignatov. He's not long out of the pits, in fact, getting himself involved in something into a Ascari. He's got that damaged Aston Martin just ahead of him. So I think this might catch him out ever so slightly here, although the Aston, yeah, moving over to let him go around the outside. Oh, yeah, he just moved over a bit too much there. Wasn't quite as much room as he thought. And that is going to see him drop back down. Wow, it's again a tough day at the office here. Lamas, the driver in the Aston Martin, is picking up the damage, and he stayed out despite the pit window being open. Lamas hasn't pitted already, and he stayed out. I would myself be straight in to get that damage repaired. He has decided against. It's Petrenko and Kell going side by side. Kell popping it around the outside on the way to turn number 1 and through the first chicane. Gets that move done. Very nicely done by Mikael Kell. Getting the move done on Petrenko, and Schneeberg might get the move done as well here. We shall see how he gets on at the second chicane. Not quite close enough. Petrenko really getting close under braking. And that is one of the blue flag cars behind him as well. So yeah, keeping it extra spicy in the middle of the pack. We've got very close action still up at the front, and Rui Castro, after getting separated from Schofield through the traffic, he has now got Rochelle all over the back of him once again. Van Rossum now 4.7 seconds down on Rochelle, so we will see if any of them decide to come into the pits early. It would certainly be early for them to do so. Korlachuk and Espinoza both in the pit lane. Both of them stationary. Espinoza getting himself some damage repaired, so yeah, unsurprising he's come in early doors. Get that repaired and get back out running again. Subscriptions going through on the German channel, always gratefully received. And yeah, remember to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow on Twitch, like and subscribe on YouTube. Oh, here we go. Once again, it's Petrenko and Schneeberg. This time it's going to be into turn number 1. It's going to be Schneeberg late on the brakes, gets the car rotated through there, and after losing a position to Kell on the previous lap through that corner, Petrenko losing out to Schneeberg this time around. It's BMW versus BMW. We'll see what Petrenko can do on his way into the second chicane. They are going to get very close indeed. He is surely going to pull along beside him, or he's certainly going to try. No, he's not. Doesn't quite have the pace or the room to do so, so stays behind through the second chicane, and that's 2 positions in 2 laps for Petrenko. More cars coming into the pits. That is Zanella and Han Che both coming in. So the drivers further down the field electing to come into the pits. No one up the field so far, or certainly up inside the top 20 so far, coming in. Che and Zanella both approximately in that region. That is a chat on the German channel. There we go. It's best to check. Let's see, Pavlovich, still no pit stop for him. Does he come in this time around? Nope, still got over half the pit window to go. Schofield, I'd imagine, yep, he is going to stay out. So too is Rui Castro, and he has got Rochelle behind him, and they've got a blue flag mixed in there as well. He is going to go flying past. He's going to get himself plenty of room. Nice little lift there. Oh, Marcin Pietz getting close on the way into Ascari. Bobek picking up a white flag there. Oh, okay, so he must have been coming through traffic, sorry, yep, so that's him coming through traffic. Marcin Pietz and Svein Dreher in his customary Aston Martin Frustrator Motorsport. Slightly new livery to the one I remember. Oh, Boden Pinda as well. He's had a tough start to the race. Of course, we saw him involved in an incident early on, ended up off the track, looking to make a move on Stefan Kozubek, and the old school Aston Martin couldn't quite get it done through Ascari this time around, but surely on the way to Parabolica, that is definitely going to be a move he will absolutely be eyeing up. That's Benjamin Schubert coming in the pits, no one ahead. Coming in, so Pavlovich is staying out once again, and Prinda getting it done on the brakes in the BMW. Very nice move indeed. Did outside racing team, gets it done on the inside line through Parabolica. Neither of them coming into the pits, although the Aston Martin's going to have a good run at them in this. And they're still going to be side by side into turn number 1, and in fact, of course, it's going to be Kozubek who is going to be just back in front as they get their way into the zone. Yeah, not the most nimble through the corners, but certainly in a straight line. Kozubek's Aston Martin, absolutely no slouch whatsoever. You can see there the takeoff he gets out of the first chicane towards chicane number 2. Very impressive indeed. Oh, Schubert and Lamas coming into the pits. Again, still nobody from inside the top 15. V12, oh yes. Oh, big wiggle. Big wiggle there. for the V12. Old school Aston Martin, and he is out of the window. Oh, and I tell you what, Prinda nearly hands him it straight back again. That's Mario Hoffman, who is perfectly entitled to unlap himself after a difficult start to the race. He's down in 39th position after an early pit stop for damage, but Prinda nearly handing the position straight back again. Does manage to hold on to it though. We will see more action here soon, I think. Herbert Putz and Brad in 15th and 16th position. Brad has been very quick in that pole so far, really putting the other manufacturers to shame considering the strengths and weaknesses of this car against some of the others. He's really giving Putz ahead of him, more than just a run for his money. Putz in the Ferrari on home soil. Brad here for Pit Speed Racing, absolutely monstering in the laps. Really is putting the pressure on it. The second chicane, not quite getting close enough, but definitely hanging on in there. Pavlovich, he is more than just hanging on in there. He really is managing that gap now. The lap times, he's just on a 46.8, so they're picking up the pace again. And he does stay out, but that gap now down to 6 seconds, so there's been a bit of a turnaround in the gap. Schofield is closing in. Let's see across the line. Yeah, no, he's gone 4/10 slower there, so it's gone back in the favour of Pavlovich. So whether he's managing the gap or just dropping some pace at the end of the stint, Pavlovich still very much in the lead. And Van Rossum comes into the pits. So first driver in the top 10, and he's followed straight in by Mikhail Kell. We can see the Mercedes driver in, so that's the top 10 drivers starting to come into the pits just short of the halfway mark of the race. Let's see, Hank Che, I believe. Yep, there he is, 27th position. He's currently the lead driver that's taking his pit stop. We will see the drivers ahead come out ahead of him quite comfortably. As Marcin Pietz, it's not quite so comfortable for Sven Dreyer at the moment. Pietz really is piling on the pressure through Parabolica. Let's see what the McLaren can do against an Aston Martin all along the start-finish straight though. That is an entirely different equation. He's going to get close. That's more cars coming into the pits here. Falcon Moritz coming in, Mitchell Dijkstra coming in, Lars Newell for Pit Speed Racing coming in as well. These two stay as you were at the turn number 1. And Kaz Pavlovich still as you were, fastest lap of the race. He's just on a 46.7 as well. That is not bad at all. Oh, there we go, link to the Patreon as well. If you do want to support LFM, there is the Patreon link, and of course 10% off the Go LFM setups. So make sure you take advantage of that. Let's see, Pavlovich, he takes advantage of another lap and a bit of slipstream from one of the Porsches. Blue flags wave, so he will cruise past. 45 minutes left, he is comfortably in the lead. Adam Schofield in second place with Jan Michel in third. Rui Castro into the pits. Matej Meeks in 5th position. Schnettberg has stayed out, so we're going to see a lot of changing going on here. Van Rossum came back out in about 18th position. Yep, there he is there. Mikhail Kell back out in 20th, so we'll see how the rest of the pit stops play out. Matej Meeks, Voltek Bobek, Paul Lasada all come in with Rui Costa. So yeah, the pit lane traffic starting to build up. Pavlovich though, he has stayed out. I think he might run to the end of his stint. I mean, he'd be as well to if everything's running fine in the car. Maintain that gap. Schofield still in second with Rochelle in third. Through the pits we go. Cars up and down the field. The timing will sort itself out in a moment or two once we get everybody through the pit lane. Lasada there we can see. He is in. Melvin is in. Bobek on his way back out again. Van Rossum, with all that going on, he finds himself already back up to 11th. Rui Costa got back out of the pits ahead of him. And yeah, maintains a good gap there as well actually, so that's a job well done by Rui Costa through the pits. Yeah, the two of them very nearly matching times. Oh, Lasada. Oh no, that's just the pit exit. That's him on the way out of the pits. He's got Hank Che just behind him. Che hasn't pitted yet, so he is going to be on much older tyres. So Lasada getting us up to 10th. So that's going to be close, but it does look like he has managed to get a good breakaway. There is Pavlovich into the pits. That is not Pavlovich in the pits. Neither's that. This is our race leader into the pits, and he's followed in by second place. Andrew Schofield has pulled in to the pits as well. Rochelle has stayed out, so he has decided to stay out. Now, where is Schofield? Oh, of course, he's in the pits as well. He's been in there. Oh no, he's running now. He's been in there for quite a little while now, actually. That does seem... Let me just check this. That looks like a slightly longer pit stop for Schofield. Pavlovich already on the way out. Andrew Schofield. Okay, yeah, no, Schofield is back out exactly where he should be. My apologies, they're panicking over nothing. Rui Castro is still behind them, and the gap is now up to 1.8 seconds. So, very quick turnaround, in fact, by Schofield. Pavlovich with a very quick turnaround himself in the pits. He's managed to get out ahead of Sven Dreyer, who's still to take his pit stop and put another car between himself and the chasing pack, and another second or two, in fact, with a very quick run through the pits. So Schofield now finds himself about 9 or 10 seconds back. It was only 6 on the way into the pits. Oh, Bodan pinned it, looking to get himself involved in some action. He's got Vimasar just ahead of him. I'll tell you what, these two are going side by side into the second chicane, and it's going to be Vimasar in the Porsche that manages to pull that position. Stefan Kozubek right on the back of the two of them in his Aston Martin. Yeah, not as quick through the corners, but definitely quick in a straight line. We'll see if he can close in here. Not many drivers left to take their pit stop, as we can see as well. Yeah, only about 7 drivers left to do so. Yeah, 7 drivers. Oh, left the show. Just picking up a yellow flag. Oh, and Martin Pietz, what's happened there? So let's have a look here. So going into the second chicane, Ferrari ahead of him. Oh, tries to send it up the inside there, and yeah, makes contact and finds himself off course. So he'll be looking to sort that out. Oh, Hank Che looking closest, checking up the field, and yeah, Schnettberg and Rochelle are still out and running. Wow, is Fad Brad on a controller? That's impressive stuff. So too here, Hank Che. He's got Paul Lasada absolutely banged to rights by the look of it. Good run by the Lexus. Out with turn number 1 through Biasono in to the second chicane, and that is Che 5-star Racing, and that is a 5-star overtake there. Gets his nose in front. The BMW's going to have the inside line through the... Oh, and he's just gone sideways. And yep, he's straightened them back up again with that extra touch, but they are going to lose more positions as more cars come through. That's another Ferrari, that's Sinella. Oh no, sorry, that wasn't Sinella, that was Marcin Pietz, I believe it was. So yeah, blue flags involved there. Oh, as Hank Che sends the back end out as Lasada watches on. Can't take that position though. Yeah, but the back end of the Lexus looking exceptionally lively. Update up at the front, and Rochelle has been into the pits. He's on his way out. I'll tell you what, that's done him, held him in good stead. What a run that is, and Rochelle on the way out of the pits. Is he going to get himself between Rui Costa? He is indeed. He is between Castro and Schofield. So Jan Rochelle has got himself up to effectively third position by staying out as long as he did. Incredible stuff. Well, let's see what Schnettberg can do as well then, because that is going to be close for a couple of other drivers as well. So positions changing, much like here with Bimasar and Thilmani into turn number 1. On the way into turn number 1, that position changed. On the way out, he's managed to hold on to it, and that's Kozubek that is in there as well. So that's the battle down to 17. Oh no, there's Kozubek there, he's in the pits. It was a similar livery to Kozubek, but yeah, Kozubek is in the pits. It's only Thilmani, I believe, who's still got his pit stop to take. Oh no, so of course Schnettberg up at the front of the field. Jan Rochelle, he will be absolutely delighted with that opening stint. As I say, he is up to, effectively third, because he's ahead of Castro and behind Schofield, so that is the phenomenal turnaround. I'm going to, unfortunately, have to take a very, very quick pit stop myself. Bear with me a moment or two, and we will be straight back with coverage. Hello again, back once again. It's the oh wow, Schnettberg has missed it. No, he did come in the pits. He's on his way out. Wow, there we go. Proper last minute drama there. Schnettberg in and out of the pits, back out in 7th place. It's round number 6 of the Case King Pro Series here at low fuel motorsport. 34 minutes left to go. Kaz Pavlovich back to 7 seconds in the lead. We've got Adam Schofield in 2nd place, and Jan Rochelle up into 3rd position. AV Gamer saw that one coming. Yeah, very nice strategy by Rochelle. Rui Castro, in 4th position, with Van Rossum in 5th place. Matej Meeks in 6th, and Joris Schnettberg in 7th place. Mikhail Kell in 8th. Max Petrenko in 9th, and Stefan Rimazar currently running in 10th position, but that might change soon, given how close he is to Petrenko ahead of him. Petrenko losing a couple of positions in the opening stages of the race, and has lost another one since coming out of the pits as well, so down 2 positions from where he started. down to 9th, and Vimasar, as we can see, absolutely piling the pressure on, trying to get another position from him if he can. The BMW, you would think, should be looking not bad. And yeah, we will see how they go. Brad, tell you what, another one we need to keep an eye on. He's had some good runs so far. He really is quick in that Porsche. Absolutely flying. And I think I read in the chat that he is on a controller. Let me just see if I've read that correctly. Oops. Yes, he is on a controller. Wow. That is seriously, seriously impressive. I've got quite a high end, what would be considered quite a high end wheel, and I can't put in laps like this, so yeah, absolutely good on. I'm in the Porsche as well. Yeah, nice and quick through the corners. He is losing a bit of time to spawn there though. Vimasar within half a second once again, or staying within half a second of Petrenko, so that one's going to be a chase. Right down to the end of the race. Nobody is chasing Pavlovich at the moment. That is for absolutely sure. He is 8 seconds ahead of the rest of the field and looking as comfortable gets. Okay, you race wheeled. Yeah, AV Gamer, I get the feeling that you've been in the broadcast before, sorry. Would you mind reminding me what your name is, please? Because if you race beside him, then I'll maybe know of who you are. But yeah, he is certainly very, very, very quick indeed. Whether you're on a controller or a wheel. Oh, I tell you what, we've got some traffic for him to deal with as well here. We'll see how Vimasar... Oh, sorry, yeah, this is Vimasar that we're on board with now. We'll see how Vimasar gets on. Chasing Petrenko again. The BMW is going to have all that oomph in a straight line. It is really down. Oh, okay, you don't do casing often, it's errands, right, okay. I've maybe picked up your name from lurking in someone else's stream. I do lurk in a lot of the racer streams as well, so a lot of these names, a lot of names do stick. Let's see how Brad gets on here. He really is pestering Spawn here in this McLaren. He is shifting at an insane rate of knots. Vimasar is as well. So this is the two battles that we're going to have to keep an eye on, although I'm not quite sure which one to watch when. Let's see this one along the start-finish straight with. And we will see what he can do. Oh, no, he's just pulled back in there. Not quite close enough, but certainly if he makes a move at the end of the race, I won't be overly surprised. This is still Vimasar, and I'm still keeping an eye on the top of the field because there's 1.3 seconds between Rochelle and Schofield, and at the moment Rochelle is the quicker of the two of them. Yeah, about 3-4 tenths of a second a lap quicker. Toss with Scott. Okay. Yeah, more than likely. Let's see. Yeah, Rochelle, as I say, his lap time's quicker than Schofield up at the front, so definitely the potential for a battle in the closing stages there. Potential for a battle here as Vimasar once again exits Parabolica fully in the BMW slipstream. Is it going to be enough though to get him this position? And if it does get him the position, is he going to be able to hold it for very long? That is the double question. He did look to go side by side there though, the BMW, as soon as you get to those top end, or as soon as we get to that top end, it really does start showing its strength here in Vimasar. Oh, getting a white flag. Petrenko getting a slap on the wrist from the in-game stewards there. So a slight violation of the track limits. Do we dare verbalise the word drive-through? Certainly a 90-minute race it could happen. Sven Dreyer picking up a stop-go 30-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as well. Just a quick update on that one. Himself and Priadko, the only two drivers to pick up a penalty. So yeah, for Sven Dreyer, all things considered, not a bad race. He's had a stop go 38 and he is still in 30th position. Pavlovic with a white flag. Oh, he was just going past some traffic there. Yep, all good. I thought I'd curse the commentator at him there. Let's see what Vimazar and Petrenko are up to. Oh, through Ascari we go. Not going to be anywhere near close enough this time. Can he get the run on him in the final corner? No, this time Petrenko really putting a bit of distance between him into Parabolica and into turn number 1. It's going to be a much easier run for Petrenko. Certainly the Porsche is going to get close on their brakes, but yeah, Petrenko, he is going to start to pull away here, you would think. He's going to need to make some kind of mistake. Oh, Zanella picking up a yellow flag. Let's see what's happened there. This is on the way into Ascari. Oh no, has he just pulled out the way to let somebody through? Or has he actually made himself a bit of a mistake? Oh, he did go a bit slow there. Oh, bounce off the exit curb of Ascari and straight into the wall. Oh, and he's brought himself straight into the pits. That is not a factory fresh Ferrari. That is for sure. Elijah Melvin making up positions here, but Putz is going to get a position as well. We'll jump back to the Vimazar Max Petrenko saga, because it is certainly turning into a saga between the two of them. Lap on lap, Vimazar has been all over Petrenko. He has still got 26 minutes left of driving. Yeah, still got 26 minutes left to get the move done. So, is it a case of gathering data and trying to look for a spot to get the overtake, or is it just that the Porsche cannot get the run on the BMW? Although this lap he is really closing in. Michel again. Oh, Van Rossum with a yellow flag. Van Rossum's tumbling down the order. The number 4 car has been involved in an incident. Let's have a look and see what's going on for him. This is on the way into Parabolica. Oh, there's a blue flag car on the inside. Doesn't get any place near it. Oh, okay, someone else has done an incident ahead of him. So someone else, I'll tell you what, let me see if I can track this down. No, this is not what I was looking for. Let's see. Yes, so it's still Manny. For the Kozubek racing team, of course, him and Kozubek in the same livery. That would explain that. You'd think that one would have registered before now. But here we are, and into the final corner. Oh, and that's Castro. So it's Castro that's giving him a touch. Oh, and the car spun both ways, and that really could change things up at the front. You can see Castro is the driver that was involved there. That's put him at 5 seconds down. Rochelle's now within 1.5 seconds. Although Schofield did go quicker on that previous lap then, so it's Vimazar we will get back to. But yeah, late drama potentially. Hopefully, no more. Oh, and Pinda, who's down the field, he's got Phil Manny just ahead of him. These two battling for positions, looking to gain back some spots if they can. Pinda losing 2 since coming out the pits. Still on a massive gain though. Zanella dropped down the order as well. The number 8 car has had quite a few incidents. We'll have a look here at some of them. Of course, yes, he was involved in the incident through Ascari, and again, just massive bounce off that curb and off into the wall. A massively painful one, puts him massively down the order. Vimazar still chasing away, and Pavlovic chasing a top spot. Oh, now I was talking about Rochelle potentially catching Schofield. Schofield is catching Pavlovic. So yeah, Pavlovic's position up at the top of the field. Not looking as secure as it was. 23 minutes left to go. The gap down to 4.7. So it's all about Schofield's laps here. If he can close up, let's see. Oh, here comes Vimasar then, out with the first corner. And through Biasono into turn number 2. Not quite quick enough again. The top end of the BMW. The BMW going defensive then in the braking zone, pulling back over to the driving line. Manages to fend off the advances for the moment, but surely Vimasar, yeah, he is gathering data every single lap and is very much going to be looking for a position. Yeah, sorry, I got myself lost in the in the sector times there. Yeah, Vimasar just all round very quick indeed. Pavlovic, of course, very quick. That gap though, 4.6 seconds. He's still got a bit of time left. Does Schofield in third, Rochelle in fourth position. Rui Castro in fifth, and that gap between Castro and Rochelle is growing. So I wonder if Castro has picked up an innocuous little bit of damage that's slowing him down. He's got Mateja Meeks, and you can see in the Honda, only 1.5 seconds back in 5th place. Van Rossum in 6th, with Snetberg in 7th place. Mikhail Kell in 8th, Max Petrenko in 9th, and of course Stefan Vimasar in 10th place. We've got a nice bolt into this battle for a considerable amount of time. Into turn 1 again and again. Oh, it's absolutely nose to tail. Oh, so close, so close. Bobic in 11th, it's Losada in 12th, with Hank Che in 13th, Dykstra and Melvin rounding out the top 15. We've got Putz, Brad, Spawn, Sanders and Marcin Pietz rounding out the top 20 at the moment. Lars Newell and Benjamin Schubert. You can see just how close these two Porsches are. So a position change potentially on the cars there, and Filmani and Pinda, these two still right on top of one another with some blue flags involved there as well. We've got Zanella trying to get a position back from Ignatov as well. So plenty of battles coming in to the closing stages. It's just catching the overtakes. Oh, that's going to be the tricky one, as Schubert and Newell temporarily swapping positions. They are going to go side by side into the first chicane. Let's see who comes out with the position. Is it going to be Newell or is it going to be Schubert? It's Newell at the moment, and he does just just huff the yield there to Benjamin Schubert, the Kronos Motorsport driver in the Porsche. Very good manoeuvre there, and Newell really did lose a bit of time. That gap has already gone to 0.8 of a second. Certainly in the second phase, Newell coming right back at him. In fact, is he going to get a counter move in the second chicane? He's not quite going to be close enough. Absolutely cat and mouse between those two. And yeah, over the top as well. This is on a knife edge. Mateja Meeks is well within 1.5 seconds of Rui Castro. Rochelle is maintaining 1.8 seconds behind Schofield. And Schofield, oh, I tell you what, it's a juggling act at the moment. He was a 10th quicker than Pavlovic on that previous lap, although Pavlovic has just put the foot down and he is 2/10 up on his previous lap. So they're absolutely putting them in, as you would expect. Oh, Pinda and Filmani going side by side, one of them going off the course there through Ascari. Pinda managing to hold on to it as they've got a blue flag, one of the BMWs coming through, and Pinda just having to get himself out of the way there. Of course, the drivers all vying for those prizes, the win bundle and UH1 hub for third place, the X1000 gaming chair and the R300 driving seat, bucket seat for your sim rig. Would look very nice on my rig, just saying. Yeah, so some hard charging and hard driving. Pavlovic, this is only his 4th race so far. He was sitting in 10th before the race started tonight in the championship. He is going to be propelled far beyond that after tonight's race. Rochelle, who is leading the championship on the way in, he is going to be leading after tonight because Jay Stevens not here tonight. Mario Hoffman finishing much further down the order, and Mikhail Kell and Lauren Van Rossum all finishing behind him as well, so Rochelle should maintain the lead of the championship, but certainly with the drop round, of course, Pavlovich is absolutely going to be there or thereabouts, as they say. Rochelle still trying to close in on Schofield if he can. Vimasar losing a lot of time now to Petrenko, so I don't know if his tyres have fallen off a cliff, although yeah, no, he did a tyre change in the pit stop, so yeah, whatever's gone wrong for him, it really has gone wrong. He is massively losing time to Petrenko, so that position I thought he might gain at the end, it looks like it is slipping away. Now let's see if Sven Dreyer can get himself into the top 30. Of course, the lead driver to have served the stop go 30-second penalty. Still finds himself up near the front of the field. Or sorry, still finds himself in the top 30 and in a position to crack the top 30 if he can get past Ignatov. I think Ignatov, yeah, he's down as well. So certainly these two have got pace. Certainly pace quicker than the position that they are currently running in based on quali and race laps. So well down the field. Marcin Pietz. He started in 18th, dropped right down the order. In fact, he dropped to 30th position, in fact 40th position, and he has made it back up to 20th, so it has been quite the recovery drive for Marcin so far. Definitely worth a mention, making up that many places in this field. Absolutely incredible work. Still as you were up at the front. In fact, Pavlovich gaining a bit of time. Gaining a bit of time on Schofield. So that's gone back to just on the 5-second mark. So yeah, this is all about who can keep their concentration now with 16 minutes left. They just need to bring this home, concentrate through the traffic, and we should see these drivers bring home the positions they have. Rui Castro certainly won't be too happy with the incident that he got caught up. Definitely a tough one to judge though, so yeah, we will let the stewards worry about that one after the race. And you've still got, yeah, 42 cars, so we only lost Fernandez at the start, which is a pity because he was one of the quicker drivers. So Fernandez out early doors, Priadko down at the back of the field after his go stop go 32nd, and Lian Liu after 2 trips into the pits down in 40th. Mario Hoffman dropping down the order as well throughout the race, but putting in some good laps now. Did have 2 stops in the pit himself, so an unfortunate race for Hoffman, who's doing well in the standings so far, up in 3rd place. So this, yeah, you would think destined to be a drop round for him. In fact, you can guarantee it's going to be a drop round really. So he will look to shrug off this evening, get home any points that he can, and then get on to Imola next week. Imola then Misano. That is quite the couple of rounds coming up. Yeah, Imola, Misano, then Bathurst and Silverstone. So yeah, some tricky courses on the way for the drivers. We'll see how they go on. Hopefully, in fact, we'll get a couple of them in for an interview at the end. But yeah, we are most certainly set up for that, so we'll see any of them do jump in here. Round number 6 almost done and dusted. Pavlovich up at the front. Schofield still in 2nd. He's just taken a little bit of time, but yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to close up unless Pavlovich has some kind of absolute horror show. And down through the field, everyone now very much in the flow, as they say. Blue flags and all. There's Espinosa. He'll be disappointed with tonight's race, that's for sure. After making up 10 spots last week, he's lost 23 spots on where he started. Sorry, 22 spots on where he started this week. So big change in fortunes for Espinosa over the 2 weeks. He'll be another driver looking to shrug off tonight's race. Thilmani picking up a warning from the stewards. I'll tell you what, some last lap drive-throughs perhaps. Yeah, the drivers are certainly making it interesting. I can confirm, Fad Brad did make it past Arthur Spawn, as you can see. He's now got a 1.5 second gap, so good run by him to get himself into 17th. I didn't think Spawn would have the making of him in the McLaren, but not to be. Brad in the Porsche, really doing a number, and on a controller as well. Just for anybody that is just joining in, he is on a controller. So yeah, absolutely colossal effort by him. Speaking of colossal efforts, Jan Rochelle has closed up on Adam Schofield and has got the gap to within a second. I'm not sure if Schofield had a bit of an issue on that last lap or just making his way through traffic, but Rochelle certainly closing in. He's getting himself to within slipstream range with 10 minutes left to go. So it's going to be Aston Martin versus Mercedes for the final 2 podium positions. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that is absolutely slipstream engaged. We can see from the Aston Martin rear wing just how close the two of them are. The Mercedes really could take chunks here in the brakes. Rochelle is going to need to get this one absolutely bang on. It looks like he's done so, and I tell you what, Schofield is going to be feeling the pressure once again. He's had a phenomenal race so far, and in fact is one of only 3 drivers to still be running in their starting position. Pavlovich, Schofield and Rui Castro all running where they started the race. Bit of a fluctuation for Jan Rochelle, but he's looking for another spot if he can, and he certainly looks like he can. He's got 11 minutes left to go, and I tell you, that is right on the bubble. So let's see what Rochelle can do. Yeah, what can you do over the closing stages? Matej Meeks as well. He is taking a bit more time out with Castro. That's down to 1.3 seconds. Marcin Pietz is starting to close back in on Sanders. Ignatov is now closing in on Gamelgard. Gamelgard actually worth a mention as well. He's made up 14 spots after starting down at the back of the field, so he's got himself up to 28. So great drive by him. But we've got some more battles that are starting to come together. And that is a raid into the German channel. Chris will be welcoming them in with open arms. Let's see, Rochelle and Meeks going quicker than Castro here. I tell you, if Castro has picked up a little bit of damage, it really is going to be a tricky finish. Although 147.2, although Meeks with a 47.0. So Meeks with a 47.0. Schofield did manage to go a bit quicker than Rochelle there on that previous lap, so he's put the gap back out to a second. Really is on an absolute knife edge. As to where this is going to go. Let's see, 11:20. Oh, we've just had a yellow flag there. Let's see who this is. This is Andrew Priadko just having himself another incident. I think this is into Ascari. Oh no, my apologies. No, all he's done is slow down to let some blue flags through. And yeah, that has picked it up as an incident because he was going so slow. We have got Rochelle in our focus. Matej Meeks, we're still watching him as well. And of course a bit more camera time for our race leader, Pavel. Oh, what's going on there? Schofield. Is Schofield made it? What's going on with Schofield? He suddenly lost a whole lot of time and Jan Roussel is ahead of him. Oh, there was a yellow flag for him, but that was quite some time ago. So this is a yellow flag here, coming through the first chicane. Okay, that is a strange one. Whatever's happened, it has happened quickly because Jan Roussel is now ahead of Schofield. Schofield was 1 second ahead of him and that's suddenly turned around. And again, there's no incident being registered. But Roussel, he will not care. Adam Schofield, he is now... yeah, trying his hardest to get back into second place. What a race this has been. Okay, so something did happen through Ascari. Is Adam or Jan streaming? I'm sure Jan streams actually. I think I've looked in there before, but yeah, Schofield. That's unfortunate. As I say, it's not registered as an incident for him. Certainly nothing for Roussel either, so yeah, through Ascari, gets the job done. And Roussel, the Aston was slow, not sure why, yeah. I wonder if he was just on the grass too much. I've seen the drivers putting half a wheel on the grass over the white line, so certainly that would slow you down a bit, but it's not slowed down Jan Roussel in any way, shape or form through Ascari. Yeah, through Ascari this time. Jan Roussel comfortably in the lead. He's got himself a half-second gap and he is stretching that gap out on the way into Parabolica. The LFM Esports driver having a very good run in the Mercedes. He got Castro through the pit stop phase and he has got Schofield in open battle, so to speak. And yeah, through Parabolica this time around, it is a much different lay of the land for these two up at the top of the field. The final two podium positions swapping hands in the closing 10 minutes, and I tell you what, Marcin Pietz looks like he fancies himself a position as well, as he's only 3/10 behind Heiko Sanders having to go full defensive. He's carrying a bit of damage. The McLaren's surely going to be the quicker out with these two, with Sanders looking to defend if he can in the closing couple of laps, because we now only do have a couple of closing laps left to go, 6 minutes left, so about 3-4 laps for the drivers to navigate the circuit. Marcin Pietz looking quick, and I tell you what, Sanders definitely feeling the wear, and the tear, and a bit of damage on that car. He is sliding all over the place. Adam Schofield though, he is back under the rear spoiler of Jan Roussel. That is very close indeed once again. Between these two, but it is Schofield who is doing the chasing. Let's see what he can do while he's trying to get the overtake done. He was trying to get an overtake initially on the race leader, Pavlovich, pulling away on the opening lap. Schofield's had battles so far with Castro and now with Roussel. 5 minutes left. Pavlovich much further ahead, 6 seconds in fact. It's going to be one of those, you'd imagine it's going to be very, very, very close indeed to an extra lap, which I think it might be. Let's see what Schofield can do under brakes on the way into Parabolica. It's a good attempt, but it is a better attempt through there by Roussel. Really is using as much of that exit as he can, and he absolutely needs to. Oh, and Vimisar and Petrenko, they're back on top of one another. Oh, and Petrenko doing his best to throw it away here through Ascari. He's hit all the curves. Yep, he's hit those curves. He's gone out onto the gravel. They've got a blue flag ahead of him, but Vimisar, he won't care about that. He's going to send it up the inside. They're going to go 3 wide, and the blue flag moves out the way. Petrenko going for the cutback on the exit to Parabolica, manages to make it stick. But Vimisar certainly signalling his intent. With not many minutes left to go, Vimisar and Petrenko back together again. I called this battle dead. It was a 1.8 second gap, but Petrenko absolutely, yep, he's lost himself a whole lot of time. In fact, he was about half a second slower on the previous lap, so that's where he's lost a whole host of time. The past 2-3 laps he has been hemorrhaging time. And Vimasar right back in the hunt, and he's having a little bit of a wiggle there. Yeah, a bit of a strange one. Adam Schofield and Jan Ruchel. The gift that keeps on giving up at the front of the field. More traffic for them to deal with, and I do say this very often. Being able to use the traffic to your advantage, or at least being able to use the traffic in any way, shape or form, even if you are the slower car being blue flagged, using that to your advantage to gain time or position on someone else down behind you. Is absolutely an art form drivers need. You need to be quick, consistent, good in the pits, and certainly traffic management, an absolutely vital skill, even in what would be considered a shorter race, only 1 hour 30 minutes. Certainly the drivers have done a lot longer than this behind the wheel, that's for sure. Oh, look how close they're getting into that first chicane again. Absolutely on top of one another. Rochelle really has got his work cut out for him here. If he is going to hold on to this position, Schofield really pushing the buttons here. He's not long lost his position. I wonder if he's a bit worried about fuel, perhaps. Maybe he's worried about Pavlovich giving him an extra lap at the end. I know these drivers do calculate their fuel to within the finest of margins to save as much weight as possible. When they are driving into Lesmos, he gets really close under braking. That is really close under braking. Got another couple of incidents just being registered as well. So yeah, so much for the drivers getting into their flow late on. That is Priadko picking up a warning, and we've actually just had Javi Garcia pick up a drive-through for track limits, so he has not long served that. So yeah, a couple of cars now starting to fall foul of the track limits with only a minute and a half left to go. Pavlovich is just coming into Parabolica, so this is going to be the last lap. This is going to be the last lap that he starts now. 1 minute 30 on the clock, so it's going to be very close to a minute when he crosses the line. So Schofield has got one more chance for romance to get himself up into second place. Rochelle's got a lap to hold on to that position. Of course, they meet traffic through the final corner as the in-game steward alerts us to the fact that that is in fact at the beginning of the last lap. It's Pavlovich with a 6.7 second lead over Rochelle and Schofield. These two only separated by 0.3 of a second. He's too far back there to have a look at it, surely. Yep, there we go. Getting very close indeed. Oh, there's a wiggle! They've made contact. That is a big move there by Rochelle. He's touched that curb, the sausage curb, on the way out with the final chicane. He's put the back end of the car up in the air, and Schofield had absolutely no place to go in the blue flag Porsche. Getting dragged right back into this battle then, the two of them. Absolutely no quarter given to Aston Rochelle, as I say. He's touched that sausage curb, he's bounced the car. They both managed to survive, and in fact we can get a quick look at this on replay. You can see here, as I say, into the first corner. Look how much ground that Aston Martin makes up here, but Rochelle, almost his own undoing there, gets the entry perfect, but then just too much sausage curb on the way out, loses the back end, and yeah, Schofield giving him an inadvertent touch there because he had absolutely no place to go. I don't know why he's saying the leader is on the final lap when we already know that. Pavlovich coming through Ascari, 3 seconds left on the clock, 3/10 separating second and third with only a few corners left to go. Out with Ascari, oh, and he's binned it. Adam Schofield has binned it. Rui Castro's too far back to make an impact. It's going to be Kaj Pavlovich who brings home the top spot, and after a long battle, Jan Rochelle is going to get himself up into second place. What a drive that is for Rochelle, up 4 places on the podium, but to take the checkered flag, fastest lap and pole position in qualifying, is Kaj Pavlovich. He led from lights to flag in a massively dominant performance here, and a very good win for the Mercedes driver. And it's a Mercedes one too, so a dominant manufacturer after all. Rochelle in second, Adam Schofield in third place with Rui Castro crossing the line in fourth. Then it's Matej Meeks and Lauren Van Rossum fifth and sixth. Snetberg and Kel inside the top 10. Petrenko and Vimasar, they're now separated by 3 seconds in fact, so big gap there. Let's see what Hank Che can do in the legs. So he's just pulled over. I got a yellow flag. He's run out of fuel. Hank Che has run out of fuel on the last lap. So he is going to crawl. He can crawl all the way back to the line. Sanders was overtaken by Martin Pietz as well. So Pietz did get that move done. And yet Hank Che is going to tumble down the order. It's going to be a long time now before the race finishes, unless he teleports back to the pits. But yeah, that is out of fuel. Pavlovich already back into the pits, and yeah, Hank Chase had to teleport back because he has indeed run out of fuel. I think we've just about got everyone across the line. There is our race winner. Let's jump back to the studio and get ourselves some results. Ooh, what a race that was for round number 6 of the Case King Pro Series. You absolutely love it to see races like that, right down to the end, of course, here at Monza. Monza now joining Spa, Kyalami, Nürburgring, Donington and the Red Bull Ring in the rear view mirror. It's Imola we've got up next, a 60-minute race for the drivers to deal with next time out. That'll be followed by Misano, Bathurst, Silverstone, Watkins Glen and Brands Hatch rounding out the season. 90 minutes at the Hatch. That is going to be an event all itself. Let's see, that is the standings. My apologies. What we want is the results. Let's see if we have them available. Not quite yet. So what we can do is very quickly grab ourselves some highlights. We'll get the highlights running while we wait on the results to come through, and we'll see if anyone does jump in for an interview. We'll give them a moment or two. Of course, prizes up for grabs. The bundle, the gaming chair and the racing seat. That racing seat, I tell you, I would very much like to get my hands on one of those myself. Here we go. Yeah, as I say, we'll get some highlights up and running while we wait on the results coming in. Should only take a second or two. In case anyone did miss it, the LMU series has been suspended temporarily, so we won't be back on Thursday night with LMU. Unfortunately, some issues with the game mean it is unfair, basically, for some of the drivers to be taking part. Their machinery will not be up to scratch. But certainly what will be up to scratch is our results page, and there is confirmation. Pavlovich in first with Rochelle in second, Adam Schofield in third, Marie Castro in fourth, Matija Meeks in fifth place ahead of Lauren Van Rossum, Joris Schnettberg and Mikhail Kell in 8th place. Max Petrenko and Stefan Vimazar rounding out the top 10, with Bobek, Lysaga, Dijkstra and Melvin all inside the top 15. Brad making his way up to 16th position from 27th, with Spawn, Pietz, Sanders and Hank Che rounding out the top 20. Despite running out of fuel, Che still managed to finish in 20th position. Of course, 42 cars managing to make it across the line. Fernandez and Hanek unable to finish the race, unfortunately. And there is Vimazar in the chat. He's in the German chat saying GG's. So good stuff. Good to see he's in enjoying the broadcast as well. And yeah, what a broadcast it has been. 90 minutes from Monza. Absolutely never disappoints. Neither do these Case King Pro Series or the races here at LFM. Of course, get yourself involved over at LFM. Over 300,000 drivers taking part in the races across 6 platforms, and you never know, you could find yourself up here on the broadcasts. Dijkstra here, great to be back. It's good to have you back. Welcome back in, Mitax TV. Yeah, good to see you back out on track. And very much looking forward to seeing you perform next week. Next week, of course, Imola. So make sure you tune in for that. No one jumping into the interview box, so we will call it a day, or call it a night, even though it's already called a night. But until next week, when we'll be back with Imola, stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.